Attorney Gilbert, you owe me. Buy me a cup of coffee, we'll call it even.
Post said you slept with every guy in the city council. At least they agreed on something.
Why don't you get your nose out of the gutter and try reading a book sometime, Winkleman?
What do you want, Ronnie? I mean, it can't be an apology. I already gave you that.
I don't know what I want.
That was good work.
Well, does that mean you're not gonna slap me around anymore?
Maybe.
Good morning.
Hey, Veronica. How's your Portuguese?
About the same as yours.
You know what? I can't hear.
Looks like the whole stadium is in here.
You planned this all along, didn't you?
Some things take care of themselves.
I don't know. I hear your department's pretty unhappy about having to fire 2 people. In a courthouse full of soccer rioters, seems ideal timing for a strike.
There is no strike, and it's a work-related class action.
Yeah, right. It's not a gang, it's a club.
Good luck.
Excuse me.
Hey, come on. Keep those guys in line, all right?
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, pal. What's your problem?
I need to find room 103. I'm parked in a loading zone.
You'll get a ticket.
Well, I got a ticket. That's why I'm here.
Eddie?
$30.
I need a warm body.
98.6, baby. I'm sorry. Violation Bureau is down the hall to the left.
I'm from out of town. It's pretty crazy.
Well, one guy's short for a lineup. Male, white, 38.
Yo. How would you like to make 35 bucks? Pay for your ticket, you'll be one of the chosen few to walk out of this place financially ahead.
What do I have to do?
Number 3, step forward.
So do you think the PDs will strike?
I know a little bed and breakfast in Vermont where we could wait it out.
That's him. That's the man who stole my purse.
Are you sure, Mrs. Otis?
I will never forget that face. Give me back my damn Louis Vuitton.
Number 3, stay. The rest of you file out.
Told you had the wrong guy. See you next lineup.
Do I get my 35 bucks now?
I'll see if I can, hopefully in the next few days. You've got to bear with
Oh, my God. Mr. Grady, what happened?
When am I getting out of here?
I've asked for a continuance. We're very short-handed in the PD's office, and I'm sorry, I haven't been able to complete the investigation on your file.
I have been in county for 5 months. You said I'd be out on probation.
Yes, but you were charged with attempted murder. And unless I can build a case against that, you risk going to prison for 10 years.
That drunk hit me first.
I know. Let me build a case. What happened to you?
I decided to fight them this time. Didn't change a thing. Next time I won't.
I'll move things along as quickly as possible.
Sometimes I think I'd just rather be dead.
If the PDs go on strike, I'll have to work late. Will you wait up? I promise I won't bring my briefcase home this weekend. Me too.
Witness made our guy from the photo spread.
Great.
She thinks he works evening shifts at the motel. So listen, we'll, get out of here about 5 o'clock, grab some dinner over at the coffee shop, wait for him to show up.
I don't know.
I do. He's the guy we want.
I don't think it's a good idea that we have dinner together. What I mean is, I think we need to keep things professional between us.
Professional.
Yeah. I just don't want you to get the wrong idea about what happened the other night.
What did happen exactly? A witness didn't show up. We ended up having pancakes, or was it the side of bacon that got you so upset?
I'm serious.
Well, apparently.
I just want to be clear with you.
You couldn't be clearer.
What the hell's going on? Last time I saw you, I was a free man.
Mr. Barnes, I'm Edison Moore, assistant prosecutor, and we're going to get you out of here as soon as possible. The problem is...
There's a problem?
Well, the public defenders are backed up.
No, I don't want a public defender. I don't need a lawyer of any kind. You just need to tell them to let me go.
Well, you were ID'd by the victim of an armed robbery.
I parked for 5 minutes in a loading zone to pick up a cake for my nephew's birthday.
Well, a judge has to approve your release. Now, I'll prepare a writ, show it to a public defender, and...
This is unbelievable. I'm in a jail cell. My parents never even grounded me.
Okay, buddy, let's go.
Where?
To the plaza for lunch. What do you think, pal? Strip search.
It's strictly routine. It's going to be okay. It's like getting an annual checkup.
That's right, sir.
I have prepared a list of our demands. Read it, then destroy this piece of paper.
Maybe we should eat the memo, make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Joke if you want, but what we are talking about is an illegal strike.
That could lose us our jobs and gain us nothing.
What have we got to lose? I've got a client in county right now who's been waiting 5 months to go to trial on a bar fight. Now, I need one investigator for 1 day to try and save this guy's ass, literally. But it's take a number and wait my turn.
Well, welcome to the world, Veronica. He'll get his fair trial, you'll protect his rights, and we all will sleep at night.
If this file had been worked up from the start, this guy could have pled out to simple assault and been long gone.
Look, instead of a picket line, all we have to do is file every possible motion, insist on every right we can think of, and go to trial in every case. This courthouse shuts down.
I agree. Let's hope Judge Parks doesn't let it go that far.
And what do you think she's gonna say? Sure, no problem. We won't fire 2 more public defenders. And by the way, here's a raise for all your hard work.
Are you threatening me?
No, ma'am, not at all. We're simply giving you the facts. Prosecutors average 40 active files.
And public defenders average 115. They have every cop in the county working their cases. We've got 6 retired cops masquerading as investigators.
We interview 10 inmates at a time in a cell that stinks of urine.
And you tell us that the budget cut means that 2 more PDs have to be laid off? How am I gonna do that, Justine?
Here are my facts. The county tax base is shrinking. Violent crime is through the roof. You find me one politician who gives a damn about public defenders and their clients. I have no choice.
Then neither do we.
You took this job with your eyes open, Veronica. Now do it.
Oh, I'll do my job, Judge Parks. I will carefully examine every case, file every necessary motion, investigate every possible lead.
Don't think that I'm gonna let this courthouse be shut down. Marino, you either keep your department in line, or I'll have to.
Hi.
Ronnie, help me decide on one of these.
Well, at least somebody doesn't take their public defender for granted.
How'd it go with Parks?
Let's just say you may not be the only one interviewing for a new job in here. It's a complete standoff. We won't budge. She's backed into a corner. And since when do you need help picking out a tie?
Well, these kids are talking big bucks.
I'm really happy for you.
No, I want you to be happy for us.
Careful there, counselor. Someone may accuse you of making a commitment.
Well, now that you mention it, the guys at Peterson Benelli prefer people who are stable, settled.
Right. Meanwhile, I've heard a few things about their clientele.
Businessmen.
Mobsters?
Well, somebody has to defend them. Besides, most of them are legit.
Dream on. I have to go. I'm due in Judge Jackson's courtroom.
Well, do me a favor, stay out of trouble.
Oh, you know, if you get this job, we'll both be on the same side, agreeing all the time.
So?
So aren't you afraid we might get bored with each other?
Terrifying.
A parking ticket?
Initially.
But I had a space to fill in the lineup.
The lineup was supposed to pay for the ticket.
We were doing the guy a favor.
Uh-huh.
You know, when you think about it, it's really kind of funny.
When that lady ID'd him, I knew.
You mean to tell me that a law-abiding citizen walked into this courthouse to pay a parking ticket, was mistakenly ID'd, arrested, strip searched, thrown into lockup, and is still there?
That about sums it up, Judge.
How do you know he's innocent?
See, we needed one more guy to fill in the lineup.
You got a positive ID?
He's not the guy. We know who the real guy is. He's not the guy.
Is there any bull left to this story?
Not much.
Okay, State versus Mathis.
Judge, before we can proceed, we'll need a ruling on this discovery motion.
You're handing me a 38-page document the day of the trial. State versus Finkel. This is a plea?
Judge, my client has changed his mind. He'll stick with his not guilty plea and ask that this matter be placed on the trial list.
So now, wait a minute, let me get this straight. You've not been able to talk to your client?
The conditions in lockup don't offer any privacy. I need a place where I can guarantee confidentiality.
All right. How about State versus Hernandez?
My client has an alibi witness whom I've been unable to locate due to the lack of investigators in our office. As soon as I'm provided with...
Hey, yo, Judge. I got an alibi witness, too. I'm innocent.
Sit down. Why do I get the feeling we're not going to get anything done today?
I cannot properly represent my client if not provided the necessary tools.
What is it that you want me to do, Ms. Gilbert? Huh? Throw you in jail? Will that help the cause?
I don't know what cause you're referring to.
Oh, I think you know exactly what I'm referring to, and I don't like your tone either.
Well, I don't like the way things are being handled in this courtroom.
Is that so? Well, I know you're familiar with the lockup. Maybe you like the way things are being handled down there. Bailiff, I'm citing Ms. Gilbert for contempt of court.
Hey, she's my lawyer.
Sit down and shut your mouth. I don't call the shots around here. Judge Parks does. And if I were you, I'd remember what happened to the air traffic controllers. They thought they were indispensable, too.
Your Honor, no public defender takes this job to get rich. But when we can't do our job the way it's supposed to be done, then our clients are the ones that are getting shafted.
I am not getting shafted
I told
again.
you
I didn't
to
even get a
sit
foot
down.
in that hole for months, and I am not waiting. Give me that.
Hey, fellas, I have a release form for William Barnes. I don't think now's a good time.
Somebody lose this?
So, I'm under house arrest?
Well, the accommodations are better, though I can't speak for the company. But somebody's bound to get hurt down at lockup. It's just a matter of time.
Guess we started something.
Well, maybe a little revolution is just what we need around here.
If that's what you really think, then why am I in contempt?
Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, your dilatory actions towards cases that should have been disposed of today. Your grandstanding, conspiratorial tone. And lastly, your failure to address the court with your honor, judge.
I see that cowboy drawl of yours is easily substituted with legalese, with all due respect.
Well, it comes and goes, yeah.
We off the record?
At ease, counsel.
There's a lot of rumors going around the courthouse about you, Judge. I'm just wondering if any of them are true.
Shoot.
Wild teenager? Rodeo star?
True.
Ladies' man?
When I was younger.
Killed a man in a bar fight.
Just put him in the hospital. He's okay now. Now, I'd like to ask you a question, Ms. Gilbert. Is there anything that you have to say to me? Anything in the form of an apology, perhaps, for your behavior this morning?
I'm not going to say I'm sorry for what I did, because I believe that what we're doing is right.
Well, then, make yourself at home.
I say fire the slothful, lethargic asses. When we were attorneys, we worked under equally challenging conditions, and we still got the conviction.
And we all walked to school in the snow, dragging the school bus behind us.
The public defender's all right. The prosecutor's office has twice the funding.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. And I, for one, would appreciate it if you would indeed go to Washington.
Why don't we form a committee of judges and public defenders? Create a forum.
Can I say something here, please?
No. Their actions this morning were nothing short of anarchy. And we demand that you take action to quash this uprising ASAP.
I assume you're all as equally open-minded about this? Fine. If they're not back to work by 2 p.m., they will risk being let go.
Now, wait a minute. You can't expect things to happen that fast.
I'm ordering all private lawyers in this courthouse into service as defense attorneys.
Maybe they'll come to their senses when they see we're working just fine without them.
Meanwhile, we can take advantage of this to clear up our civil backlog. All criminal judges, please pick up your civil assignments from the clerk's office.
What?
You kidding? I haven't interpreted a contract in years.
We'll convene again at the end of the day. So was I convincing?
Maybe a little too convincing.
Supposed to be impartial.
You know, you could have bought yourself just a little bit more time. Now you've only got till 2 o'clock before you have to start firing people.
Yeah, for all I knew, if I hadn't done that, the judges might have gone on strike.
You know, Judge, your heart's in the right place, but nobody expects you to lose your job over this.
I have no such intention.
Jeremy Blodgett, I'll be representing Mr. Barnes in this matter.
Edison Moore, assistant prosecutor. Pensions and retirement planning?
I was delivering an amendment to the county pension plan when Judge Parks called me to service.
So you haven't done much criminal work?
I'm usually in the office, buried in the tax code. In fact, this is my first time in a courthouse.
Hold on. What kind of a railroad is this?
It's going to be okay, Mr. Barnes. It's just routine paperwork any attorney can handle.
I'm actually more comfortable with a calculator.
Oh. All you have to do is present the writ to the judge, which I will now prepare to cover the additional offenses.
What additional offenses?
Because of the confusion in the holding cell, we have to cover for assault with a deadly weapon, attempt to flee, and attempted murder. It's just technicalities.
Oh, this is a joke, right?
No, but it's not a problem.
It's 110 years.
Miss Gilbert.
Judge?
So, you get hungry? Maybe I can scrounge up a little bread and water.
I'll survive, thanks. How was the meeting with the judges?
Well, you have exactly till 2 o'clock to get back to work.
Judge, if you were a public defender, if you were me right now, what would you do?
I think I'd try and settle this thing within the law, not outside it. I'd hire myself the best damn labor lawyer in the country. That's what I'd do. Of course, I never said that.
I never heard it.
So, Ms. Gilbert, is there anything that you'd like to say to me now?
I still think my actions were correct. Under the circumstances, however, I'm sorry for not addressing the court with the appropriate respect.
You don't give much, do you? It's okay, neither do I. Go on, get out of here.
Thank you. Judge, that fight in the bar, what'd the guy do?
Some other time.
Where have you been?
Under house arrest. I'll explain later. You're late for your appointment. Come on. Let me see. Let me see. Very GQ.
Is that good?
Are you kidding? John Grisham is writing his next novel about you as we speak.
Well, maybe I should change. I don't want to look too flashy.
Hey, don't fight it. Some people have it, some people don't.
Yeah, well, they have it, and I want it.
Don't worry. I think they're going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Good luck.
Thanks.
They're out there right now turning private attorneys into public defenders. We're being replaced.
We're not being replaced. There's going to be insanity in the afternoon criminal calendar. None of those private attorneys have a clue what they're doing.
They made their point, though. There are 1,000 hungry lawyers out there just waiting to take our place. And they will make no waves. Trust me. I have a mortgage to pay, a family to support. Try and get another job with a contempt conviction.
Does anyone know a good labor lawyer?
Excuse me.
This is Detective O'Connor. He needs to be briefed on that motel raid.
I don't understand.
I traded with him.
Traded?
He's taking my night because I've been pulling too much OT. But, don't let my boyish good looks fool you. I taught him everything he knows.
Wait a second. We're mid-investigation. We go to trial next week. We've already interviewed 3 witnesses.
So drive him by the crime scene. He'll read the file on the way.
You're already familiar with this case.
I've only done this 1,000 times. What's the problem?
Nothing. But I think this casual reassignment of duties is unprofessional.
Objection noted. How fun.
If you think for 10 seconds I will lower myself to preside over these trivial, picayune, uncivil...
Sterling.
I graduated summa cum laude. I have argued before the Supreme Court.
Then why don't you take your cum laude and park your supreme ass on the civil bench?
Listen, a 15% loss of flexion in the right pinky finger. 12 days to determine which gay lover gets the sensory deprivation chamber. A mouse carcass found in a soda bottle. A malpractice suit with 9 experts in urinalysis.
I never noticed that large blue vein in your temple before.
Don't make me do this.
Then don't pout.
I will too.
Don't be a baby.
I won't do it!
I'll give you 2 choices. Either you sit on these civil matters, or I'll send you to small claims night court. Now go.
Sterling, about you switched to civil. If I can be of any assistance...
Shut up.
Well, all I mean is that civil matters, matters of equity between two citizens, can be a really fascinating side of jurisprudence. Now, to the average layperson, this might just seem like 3 bags of urine. But to the insightful civil jurist, it's a chance to examine the ethics of medicine. Don't be intimidated, Sterling. Now, imagine, if you will, this malpractice case. Picture yourself in a plaintiff's shoes. There he is, lying on the hospital table. That's right, he's in pain. Terrible pain. Help. He calls for the nurse, but she doesn't come. He's all alone. He grasps for the IV, and he falls. Sterling, you're only supposed to imagine this. You're not supposed to do it.
Call the doctor, you idiot. I'm having a heart attack.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Call 911! Judge Conklin's having a heart attack. Sterling, don't worry. I know CPR.
Somebody call 911. Just let me die.
There's no room to process them anywhere else.
You know, this could take the 2 of us a couple of days.
What do you mean, the 2 of you? Where are the other PDs?
I believe they're home. They're suffering from job-related stress.
Oh, is that right?
Uh-huh.
You know, there is a cure for that. It's called being fired.
Not according to our labor council. They're filing workers' comp claims, which means that anyone who fires them is subject to a fine and imprisonment.
So it looks like you've done your homework.
All's fair in love and work-related class actions.
Excuse me.
Is Conklin all right? Or did we get lucky?
He'll pull through. I'll pass along your concern.
Quando é que a gente vai embora desse lugar? Não sei. Ô, meu irmão, você entendeu alguma coisa que tá acontecendo aqui? Sei. Não sei nada. Ah, eu também tô com fome, mas não traz comida. Olha só, eu pedi uma pizza agora mesmo.
I thought you said he was innocent.
He was. He is.
Aggravated assault, attempted escape, possession of a dangerous weapon, attempted murder. Busy man.
It's all a misunderstanding.
So was World War I.
See, there was this prison riot, and this guy...
I don't want to hear about it.
Come on, Judge. Where's your sense of humor?
About the same place as Mr. Barnes, I'm sure. All right. I'm gonna sign something, and then you are gonna sign something. Community service. Big brother to a troubled youth, 1 night.
No problem.
Each week for 8 weeks.
8 weeks?
You got a problem with that? Okay. There's a highway cleanup program for the winter.
I'll take the 8. Glad to help.
You sure this guy's clean? He's not gonna run out and mistakenly shoot the president?
I'm sure, Judge. Suzanne's out there right now bringing in the real perp.
By the book?
Absolutely.
Why are you guys dragging me down here again?
Sit down. Sit down.
You don't got nothing on me. And that lady couldn't ID me, and I know my rights.
You have the right not to be an idiot, and you haven't asked for that one yet. Sign this.
What the hell is this? This says I did it. I'm not that stupid.
Okay. You asked for it. Guard!
Coming.
What's that?
It's a polygraph test.
That's cool. Where do I put the specimen?
No. It's a lie detector test.
Do we have to do this?
Look, if you don't cooperate, you're never getting out of here. Now, all I'm gonna do is ask you a few questions, and if you pass, I'll let you slide. Now, is your name Michael Smith?
Yes.
Now, I want you to lie to me on purpose just to see if the machine's working. Are you the President of the United States?
Say yes.
Yes.
Okay. It's working. Now, did you steal Mrs. Otis's purse?
Like I already said, I was just walking down the street when, unbeknownst to me, someone must have ripped her off and ran by with the purse, which I just happened to find. Damn.
Why'd you trade cases?
Should we be talking? I mean, I'm eating, and I know how very unprofessional you think that is.
A real jerk.
I'm a jerk?
If the PDs stay on strike, all of my pleas go to trial. I'm gonna need a cooperative investigator.
Well, then you better make sure you get along with the Connor, because me and you are out of business.
What does that mean?
There is no way I'm gonna work a case with you again. Life is too short.
Why are you doing this?
Look, I am almost finished with the write-ups. They'll be on your desk in the morning. Trust me, we will both live a lot longer.
For the attorneys who are new to criminal law, the court determines the bail based on the severity of the crime. Now then, once the prosecution has presented enough... Are you with me still? Okay, once they've presented enough evidence to get an indictment against your client, then we proceed to the arraignment. At that stage,
Judge, may I interrupt Criminal Procedure 101 and be heard in the matter of State versus William Barnes? I have a writ prepared for the prisoner's immediate release. Mr. Barnes is here. He's being represented by private counsel, Jeremy Blodgett.
Jeremy Blodgett, Your Honor, Pension Planning Trust Estates.
Oh, listen, I'm sure I can get to this by the end of the day. Say 4 o'clock. As soon as I finish these arraignments, I'll be more than happy to...
No, this is it. I'm an innocent man. I'm gonna go home right now.
Mr. Barnes.
Take these manacles off me. I can't take it. No, I'm not a jailbird.
Take it easy,
Somebody get me out of the big house.
Mr. Barnes, please. It's only one more hour.
I want to go home. Just go home. How on earth did I end up in the pokey?
I don't understand it. Nobody knows anything until the lab results come back. What are doctors for? The same thing happened exactly to my Uncle Manny when he passed. Oh, but he was really sick. A lot sicker than you, Sterling. I mean, he died. Hey, now, don't worry. Don't worry, Sterling. I'm going to be here right at your side until I know you're out of the woods. Hey, when you're back in the swing of things, why don't we all go out together? The 4 of us. You met my wife, Sarah. There's this new Afghan restaurant in South Orange Village. They don't have utensils. You eat with your hands. You love it. No. Don't try and talk, Sterling. Let me do the talking for you, okay? Huh? Oh, here. Leave? Oh, my God, you're right. Judge's meeting, I almost forgot. Don't worry. I'll be there. Your voice will not be silenced. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Explain to these guys we're going to give them numbers.
Make sure someone's
Today's special, probation with a side of community service.
Judge, I need more backup. I can't control this space.
We're processing as fast as possible. Do the best you can. I hate soccer.
Talk about guerrilla conditions.
The mayor called. He doesn't want to hear about the strike on the 6 o'clock news.
And what'd you say?
Some smart ass advised the PDs to talk to a labor lawyer, and I told him that he was going to have...
Officer! Drop the gun! Drop the gun now, or I'll kill him.
Purnell, put the knife down. You don't want to do this.
Get back.
You are not a killer.
Get away. I am getting out of here.
Give me the...
Veronica, don't...
Give me the knife.
All right, now back off or she's dead. I mean it. I have got nothing to lose. Come on. You're gonna walk me out of here.
Easy, take it easy.
All right, now I am walking out of here. If anybody makes a move toward me, she's dead. Do you understand? Don't worry, the guy's got nowhere to go.
He doesn't have to go anywhere to cut her throat.
All right, I want that hallway cleared now.
All right. Let's get Sam behind your back. All right. I got to stand. All right, Conklin, let's go. Come on. Let's go.
It's over. It's over. Okay?
I don't know.
Yeah, he got you. Look at that.
All right, let's have somebody go look at it. Hey, thanks.
Yeah, sure thing. Sure you don't want to go to the emergency room?
I'm okay.
You got a ride? You want me to drive you home?
No, thank you. Jonathan's gonna pick me up on his way home.
You know, that was a brave move. Not the brightest move I've ever seen, but definitely brave.
Not like your well-thought-out rescue? I'm not gonna press charges against Grady. I hope you know that.
Yeah, I figured that. We'll deal with it. You okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
The conditions that the public defenders face every day are disgraceful.
Well, I agree. But I have a dual responsibility here. Speaking for Sterling Conklin, I have to say that poor working conditions cannot justify an illegal strike. Besides, there's no money to pay them.
There is money. The judge's pay raise goes into effect next month. If we give that up, we can cover the 2 slots the PDs are losing. The public defenders have proven themselves. They are dedicated people. One of them put her life on the line for one of us. All I am asking is that you put your lousy 3% on the line in order to keep the 2 public defenders that we would have to fire. If you're not willing to do that, then you can get yourself a new presiding judge.
You can have my 3%.
Mine too.
Count me in. Sterling, too.
All those in favor of using our pay raises to end the strike? Those opposed? Good. Then let's get these public defenders back to work.
Just down the hall.
Handling case 412.
Yeah, it's mine.
Hey, where's Mr. Barnes?
You weren't here. There was a court thing.
What court thing? You mean arraignment?
Yes, arrangements were discussed.
Not arrangements, arraignment. Were you asked to plead innocent or guilty?
Don't worry, I said not guilty all the way.
Did you tell him that we have a confession that gets all the charges dismissed?
That didn't come up. They were much more concerned about the bail. He said he had $30 to pay a parking ticket, but that the court owed him $35 for something. They wanted $75,000.
So, where is he?
Prison bus just left.
Damn.
Well, come on, we'll take my car and catch the bus.
No good. Driver doesn't even know what a writ is. Just have to take care of it on Monday.
Well, he'll be okay. I mean, what could happen to the guy over the weekend anyway?
I'll drive.
Okay.
Sterling, you look 100% better. And I hear the lab report was perfect.
Atrial fibrillation resulting from a vasovagal episode.
Is that a good thing?
I fainted from an irregular heartbeat. Easily treated by medication.
Oh, that's great news.
May I assume the public defender rebellion has been adequately quelled?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Criminal trials begin again tomorrow.
I was told your efforts at CPR were entirely unnecessary. But that in the heat of the moment, it was an understandable precaution. So, under the circumstances, I am not unappreciative.
You're welcome. Now, you get some rest. I am not leaving here. I've ordered a cot.
My God, Ronnie, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just a little flesh wound, as the paramedic said. Didn't even need stitches.
You're insane. How many times do I have to tell you not to get so damn involved? I mean, what's it gonna take? Someone to put a gun to your head? Huh? Is this it, Ronnie? I mean, are you through with the stunts?
Probably not.
How the hell do you think this is gonna look to the firm of Peterson Manelli when their junior partner's wife can't come to dinner because she's in jail? I mean, what am I gonna say?
What did you say?
I said junior partner. Well, almost, not firm yet, but...
No, that's not the part I was inquiring about. You said something about a wife?
Did I say wife?
Distinctly.
Oh.
Jonathan, are you asking me to marry you?
I was trying to make a point.
You made your point.
Just out of curiosity, if I was to ask you, what do you think your answer might be?
If you ask me for real, then I'll answer you for real. Are you asking me now?
I'm not sure.
Well, then I'm not sure either.
What are you doing?
Getting my paperwork together like I promised.
It's after 8 o'clock. You must really be eager to get rid of me.
It's hard enough figuring out what the bad guys are up to, let alone working with someone who doesn't know herself. Nothing personal, I just don't have time to tiptoe around your feelings.
Well, I don't have time to deal with your arrogance.
Let's step back a second. Consider this a freebie in basic investigation. Your office is 2 flights down at the other end of the hall. There are 3 administrative assistants who do nothing but type up and file reports for you, yet you came all the way up here. Why? You're not gonna read these tonight.
You tell me you're the investigative genius.
I think you like me. That's why you got upset about O'Connor. And that's why you came up here, and that is why you look so scared.
I am not afraid of you.
I could be wrong.
You are wrong.
Then why are you still standing here?
This is crazy. I'm married. I can't do this.
Nothing's going to happen you don't want to happen.
Dave Justice, the sounds of UB40 and more on the Very Hot Late Show with David Letterman. Now your local news.
And tonight on Heartland News at 10, more financial problems at one of Southern Illinois' largest employers. Spartan Printing files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Southeast Missouri Congressman Bill Emerson says he won't let cancer stop him from seeking another term in office. And the Heartland on the edge of conflict tonight, the Battle of Columbus-Belmont. These stories next.